We're going to bring in Danielle DiMarco, our real estate and mortgage expert. Danielle's been with us for 15, 20 years. She helps all of our clients get the best mortgages on their rental properties, not just the rental properties, regular properties as well. But she is a wealth of information and she's going to dispel some rumors that have been sort of circulating around TikTok. I know Azad's really up on the TikTok thing right now. I'm not really into that, but Danielle, if you can come on, then
Sounds great. I'm here. I love
okay.
that. I'm not really into TikTok either, to be honest with you. It was kind of everywhere, but I do need help with TikTok if anybody out there is a social media expert, because that's not my area of expertise. Um, Basically, the last few weeks, I'm not sure if any of you guys saw the kind of crazy madness that was flying around about mortgage qualifying and new rules in Canada that would really potentially be harmful for everyday home buyers who want to get into investment properties. So essentially, OSFI, who's the Office of the Superintendent, announced that there would be new qualifying rules for investors and anybody who wants to purchase rental properties. The industry went wild. A lot of information was released. Some of it was inaccurate. But essentially, the long story short is OSFI came out and said you can't duplicate income in a mortgage application. So, what that means is if we're using your job and your salary to purchase property number one, when we go to purchase property number two, the misconception was that, oh my goodness, we can't use that salary anymore. Well, then what income do we have to qualify you to buy to purchase? Basically the rental income that could potentially come from the property you already own, and that's it. So obviously, people became a little bit panicked. It would have changed the entire way we can qualify for mortgages. Basically, would have allowed big investment corporations to scoop up real estate, but leave the little guys like us who are, one, two, three, five, seven, 10 properties kind of out of luck because it would be almost impossible to qualify for a mortgage. So, of course, this caused panic, and then all of a sudden we're fielding all of these questions. I had multiple text messages. What's going on? Is this going to affect my investment portfolio? Realtors, lawyers, everybody kind of reaching out, just saying, "Hey, what's going on?" So, to kind of debunk this information, what OSFI's intent was to actually do was to ensure that lenders, not borrowers, aren't over lending on investment portfolios. So they want their lenders to have a little bit of a more balanced portfolio. So if we send a mortgage application in, and let's say we're using $100,000 of job income, but then we're using these fancy rental sheets and really relying heavily on rental income to help qualify for the next property, then the bank just has to essentially flag these files and account for it on the back end and monitor their portfolio to make sure that they're also taking on loans that don't rely on rental income so they have a more balanced portfolio. So ultimately, what does this mean for you? We can absolutely still continue to use your income to qualify for multiple properties. Thank goodness. It's just that on the back end, the bank's going to need to ensure its portfolio is not heavily weighted to rentals. So, trickle down effect of that, it may cause some lenders to shy away from heavy rental lending or cause a little bit of a surcharge on interest rates to kind of try and deter some people from investing in real estate. But nothing major. The sky is not falling. We can definitely still buy rental properties. We can still use your income to qualify for multiple properties. But it is kind of a good reminder. There's a lot of information floating out there. We talk about this, Tim and Azad, crew talks about this all the time. There's US information floating around that doesn't apply to Canada. There's things like this where people throw out misinformation to kind of cause panic and try and instill panic buying. The market's a bit slower. They try and, build business and get people purchasing out of fear. That's what we're not about here. We're debunking these myths so that everything's good. The Canadian market, we're still good. We can still invest. We can still qualify. In fact, Calgary's great. Calgary and surrounding area. with additional supply, it's a great time for investors to be not in multiple offers on properties, as well with interest rates heading downward. They still are trending downward. We're really hoping for a Bank of Canada rate drop again, hopefully at the end of October here. So all of that combined makes for kind of the perfect storm for investing still. So really pay attention to what you're reading. Always ask questions, come to the professionals. Even if it's a professional that's releasing the information, chat with somebody you know, to make sure that the information you're relying on is accurate. So it caused a bit of panic, but we're here to calm the panic down.
Well, thanks, Danielle. I was getting pretty worried there.
Thanks, Deb.
Okay.
So thanks, Danielle.
Yeah,
That
good
was
to see you,
great.
Danielle, and we'll be seeing you in the next seminar, I guess,
Yeah.
which is exciting.
So that was Danielle's mortgage update. She's always full of information. It's great. We rely on her for a lot, not just the mortgage stuff, but she keeps an eye on the interest rate market and the bond market and stuff like that. So she's a wealth of information. We're just happy that we can work with her. And if you need to get a mortgage, if you're looking for a refinance, even if you just want to see how your portfolio is doing overall, definitely take down her contact info there and drop her a line.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, for sure. She just doesn't get you a mortgage. We always say she gets you an investment mortgage plan, which if you are becoming an investor, it's a little different than just getting a mortgage. You need to actually map it out, which we're going to talk about.
Yeah.